Let me start this off by telling you a little bit about Judy Umlas and I and our walk together. Back in the day, I think it was 2016, a little bit earlier than the 2018 Judy that we have, because I think it was that long ago, or maybe even a little bit earlier. I went to a class called Grateful Leadership at MD Anderson Cancer Center as a project manager, where I heard the concept or the idea of acknowledging others. When I heard it, it just was magic to me. It was amazing. And I have formed a friendship and relationship with the author of that book. What? Judy Umlas has been around the world saving lives, literally, with her message of knowing and acknowledging and caring about people. We get to hear from Judy today, so please help me welcome District 56 Communication and Leadership Recipient 2019-2020, Miss Judy Umlas.
Thank you, Kath.
So glad you're here.
I am too. And I am so humbled and inspired by this incredible award. I, unlike a lot of you, have known about it for months. I was supposed to be there with you face to face, but this is wonderful because I've been able to invite so many of my wonderful colleagues and friends and family, and I know a lot of them are here today. But Kathy, I really want to direct these words of acceptance of this great honor first and foremost to you, because yes, we met at MD Anderson, and at the end of my Grateful Leadership course, you came up to me and you said, Judy, you looked me right in the eye. You said, Judy, this is my life's work. You've got to certify me to become a Grateful Leadership instructor. Wow, that was a message I could not refuse. And so we began the rigorous process. It took months to complete. And remember when we co-led this course at your Toastmasters annual conference in 2016? I was so thrilled with the way you took all of the concepts and tools and exercises and made them real for hundreds of attendees. And as a result, you became the second IIL Grateful Leadership Certified Instructor authorized to teach this course anywhere and everywhere. And I expect you to do that. Then I was ecstatic to find out that you had made the power of acknowledgement the official theme of your district for your third year as district director. It was so moving to me to know that you had made it your purpose to get this across to all of the wonderful Toastmasters in your district, that this powerful, simple, easy practice is potentially life-altering each and every time we use it. In fact, Kathy, you yourself tell an amazing story about how your deep appreciation of a young girl in a restaurant actually ended up saving her life. The girl's mother found you the next day to thank you. That was after the daughter, you told me, had admitted that she'd been planning to make that meal her last one. But thanks to your appreciation of who she was, she made a dramatically different choice. And believe it or not, I've heard other stories from participants in my work as dramatic as this one. So we never know what difference we'll be making to another human being. Maybe somebody who's had a bad day, somebody who's gotten notice they're being let go, somebody whose relative is sick. We just don't know. And once we're willing to open our hearts, allowing ourselves to be vulnerable enough to let them know authentically and meaningfully that we truly value who they are and what they contribute, it makes a phenomenal difference. I decided to write my first book, The Power of Acknowledgement, published by the International Institute for Learning in 2006. I decided to write it after being terribly frustrated and saddened because so many people would let me know they were not being acknowledged and for who they were or their contributions they made to their teams, to their organizations, to their families even, and to their communities. They usually said something like this when I did show my appreciation to them. I'm so surprised to hear praise. I normally hear only complaints or what I've done wrong. I wrote the book because I couldn't stand it for another minute that so many people didn't feel appreciated, valued, or even visible. And there are statistics that show that lack of appreciation is one of the main reasons good people give for leaving good jobs. Having trained over 100,000 people, I've heard countless stories that illustrate the breakthrough results of this simple, easy to do practice. The power of acknowledgement is also the foundation of the initiative that's based on my second book, this one on grateful leadership. And this is where we came together, Kathy. And it was published by McGraw-Hill in 2012. I wrote it because of my conviction that you can only be a successful leader if you can and do show your people that you care about them as people, that you demonstrate your appreciation of them, for them in a heartfelt, profound way. In fact, I promised Kathy I would do a little speed teaching about one of the most important concepts of this initiative that I usually spend at least an hour on because I feel I must get it across to people. I call it the appreciation paradigm. And as you can see from this slide, all three ways of communicating our praise and appreciation to others are valid and important. So most of us were taught as children to say please and thank you. And we should continue this at work, in families, and everywhere. Recognition is letting people know that they did a good job, as in, thanks for getting that report in early. It really helped our team. It applauds their actions, perhaps even with a gift certificate, something nice for them to have. But an acknowledgement is different. It's heartfelt and it's authentic. It's a communication that lets someone know that they do make a difference to you, to your team, to your community, that you value who they are as a person, not only what they did, that they make a unique and important contribution. People wonder why their teams are unengaged, lethargic, and uninspired. Once we get the distinction between recognition and acknowledgement, we'll be able and willing to make ourselves vulnerable, open up our heart, our mind, our spirit to them. It may take courage, but it's worth it. Try it. Go from recognition to acknowledgement and see the difference that it makes. I consider Kathy and the rest of you who have felt the power of the simple practice to be the torchbearers for this message. And this grateful leadership, 5 C's of acknowledgement, really spell out the how-to of it and how we can become conscious of the acknowledgements that are already in our head and choose to deliver them. Take the courage to deliver them in a heartfelt way, then communicate them, and at last commit to it. So I used to think that it was single-handedly up to me to change the world. It's such a simple concept, but people don't practice it for the most part. So that job I gave myself was pretty daunting. But now I know without a doubt that people like Kathy, whose whole being resonated when she first experienced the power of acknowledgement and grateful leadership in my course, are then driven. And I mean, she practically grabbed me by the collar and said, I've got to become certified, driven to take it forward in a group of movers and shakers like Toastmasters. She and you are the ones who will ultimately make the major difference in the world. I don't have to do it all by myself. We also have a whole community of people around the world who are members of IIL's Center for Grateful Leadership in order to be with like-minded people. So I hope you'll join us. You can do so by going to gratefulleadership.com, one word, Grateful Leadership with 2 L's, and come to our weekly and monthly events. In fact, you're all invited to our September 10th webinar at 12 noon Central Standard Time, at which Kathy will be making a short presentation about this very award. I'm so proud to accept this Leadership and Communication Award from your district, one of the largest in the world, I'm told. I'm especially moved to know that you now all can and hopefully will be carrying the torch for this message, a message which is my passion, my mission, and my purpose, one that I fervently hope will become yours as well. Thank you. Thank you, District 56.
So grateful that you were able to come today and accept this award. It means a great deal to me because I wanted everyone to have the opportunity to see you. I love you, girl. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. You'll do great things in your next phase.
I know, right? Thank you, Judy.
You're welcome.